Hello, my name is Amelia Magistrali, and I'm going to be talking about farmer participatory research taking place in Northeast England as part of two Newcastle University projects. First was my PhD dissertation, which was part of the EU Healthy Minor Cereals project. We evaluated different varieties of spelt and rye under different management systems, and this included factorial field trials over 2 years and farmer participatory field trials over 2 years. The on-farm trials took place on 7 different sites, 4 organic and 3 conventional in Northeast England. It was driven by research design, so we did drill with 100-meter strips of each of the 4 varieties of each crop, and we had an experimental input, which was biogas digestate on half of those strips, and then whatever the farm typically used for their fertility on the other half, and farmers were able to manage the experimental site within a field as they would typically manage a winter cereal crop. But otherwise, it was very much research designed in terms of assessments and the kind of data we were collecting. The other project I want to talk about is a knowledge transfer partnership that had some overlap with the Healthy Minor Cereals project that was funded by Innovate UK, and it had a partnership between Newcastle University and Coastal Grains, which is a grain storage cooperative in Northumberland, in Northeast England, with farmer members who really drive what decisions are made. The farmers were really interested in finding alternative crops to grow and identifying supply chains for them, and spelt was a really clear candidate from the start because there are dehullers and processors and end users in the UK. So over the course of the project, we grew spelt on a commercial scale with farmers growing spelt in full fields and selling it via contract to different consumers. So the project ended in 2020, and over the course of the project, from this table you can see, more acreage was grown, more tonnage was sold, and even after the project. So this current harvest period, there's already a big increase in total acreage from Coastal Grains farmers and in tonnage sold. Just to briefly mention, we also tried buckwheat, and that was a bit trickier. There's not as much processing available in the UK, but we did manage to produce a UK-grown buckwheat. So just to compare these different approaches, Healthy Minor Cereals is very research-driven, so focusing on producing things that have scientific rigor for research outputs, with research involvement. It meant there was some limited recruitment because farmers needed to be interested in what was happening. We couldn't really change what the focus of the project was. And it meant there was limited uptake of the crops after the trial. Conversely, the KTP project was really commercially relevant right from the start and very farmer engaged right from the start, especially because Coastal Grains, as a partner, is a farmer member cooperative. So this meant there was increased uptake of the trial results, but it also meant that you're really reliant on commercial viability. So if it's not commercially viable, farmers aren't as interested. And it also meant we didn't produce a lot of research relevant results. There weren't any publications of this work. From these experiences, it's really clear to me that these research-driven approaches need to really think about the commercial side of things for farmers and include farmers in the design of the project. And when I say commercial, I mean make it viable to farmers commercially. So not just payments for their involvement, but actually have an outcome that might work for them beyond the scope of the project. So since this is quite brief, for additional information, we do have a publication out of the Healthy Minor Cereals project on spelt, and there's one forthcoming on the rye. And the EcoBreeds project is another European project involving farmer participation that's taking place in the Northeast that uses some of the same principles. You can reach me at my email, and I've also included my Twitter handle if you'd like to follow up for any other information. Thank you for your time.